Do you know what other games actually have the auto sell for those by chance? Any ones that you played?
I know there's a couple. I can't remember if it wasn't King's Raid. It was something else that I played
Speaking of
recently.
Raid, they do auto sell Raid. This stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Download today using my special links down below. All right, let's do this. Aloha, everybody, from the YouTube channel. Welcome back to another podcast. As you can see, we got a full team. Yeah, and as you can notice, Thompson's not here this week. He's a little bit busy this week, so he'll be joining us again next week. Yeah, but there's only a couple times ever that I guess you could say Thompson hasn't really joined in. So a little bit busy this week. He'll be back next week, those guys. But welcome back. It's good to have you back, Childish. Good to have you back, Stoic. You guys have been, I would say recent Stoic, recently Childish. Yeah, maybe a couple months ago, right? I think we had you in here joining us. And then Surin back as well. But we do have a brand new face today. Well, not really a new face in the community here, but we have a Com2uS employee. We have a streamer in the community. We have Gigi here. Give us an intro. Give us a little bit of intro, background about yourself, how you got into Summoners War, and how it maybe came to be, if you want to share it into, working for Com2uS and how it's like. Give us a background.
Sure. So, hi guys, I'm Gigi, and I've been playing Summoners War since 2015. And I've only been working at Com2uS for like almost 3 years. I do events, so if you guys have heard of the meetups, that's usually where you guys are gonna meet me or find me or whatever. I'll meet you guys there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I'm so nervous. Why am I nervous?
Yeah, she's on like Com2uS stream every Wednesdays and Fridays. She streams herself and she's nervous. She's hanging out with people that she's seen before IRL and she's nervous. Oh, look at this.
Look, I'm so shy right now. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Snap out of it, Gigi. Jeez.
No, but welcome. I appreciate you taking time to join us right now. We've actually had other Com2uS employees join us as well from like the EU offices and with like Mards and like a bunch of other people. So it's great to have some of the Com2uS people in the community join us live for the streams, as well as join us as even a player, because a lot of these employees, they play the game, they enjoy the game, and they actually started as a player, right? Enjoying the game and, playing the game, and then to actually, working for Com2uS. So I think that's awesome. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's get right into the topics that we have lined up for the day. Topic number one, a little bit of an icebreaker. I think it's a great question for some of the people that we have here, and that's gonna be, what's your favorite experience of all time, IRL and in game? I want to hear them both, right? Because as you know, I've seen all you guys at meetups. I've met all you guys before. You've been to Summoners War events before. So, what's your favorite experience IRL and in game? Whatever it is that you remember from in game. You can start off with anybody. You will start off with Gigi because she's the most nervous.
There you go.
She's
the most nervous to start.
It's all good. Okay, so my favorite IRL is obviously the meetups. Like all of the meetups last year. Holy crap! I was not expecting everything that I saw last year. Like I met Surin for the first time. It was super nice, and I met so many people for the first time and from the community. And it's just it fills my heart with so much joy seeing like the happiness at all these meetups that I see everyone experience. So for me, like the community is my favorite, like IRL, like all the meetups, SWC, all of that stuff. And then my favorite in-game is when I predicted correctly that I was gonna get Sierra, because that was my most wanted monster at the time. And this was like 3 years ago. And I got her from Summon Stones, and the whole day, like I knew that we had to rush TOA and I had to summon for the stones or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna get Sierra, I'm gonna get Sierra, I'm gonna get Sierra. And sure enough, right, got Sierra. I was super happy.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. Who wants to go next? Who's got theirs?
Okay, I will go next.
All right.
Everybody else is super nervous. Okay. So favorite experience of all time, IRL. I gotta break this down in two. Sorry to take up all your guys' screen time here, but I gotta.
Take your time, dude.
IRL moment. The first one has to be stemming all the way back in 2015 when I got the invitation to go to the Com2uS headquarters. I think I was one of their first influencers that got a chance to hang out there, connect with them. It was a really cool event. It was the Halloween event. If you guys remember, way back in the day, that's when they started doing their streaming. They had like the stream team and everything. We rolled out a fun event and got a chance to connect with the community from their streaming headquarters. It was really nice to be a part of that, and we got a chance to talk with the different managers of every single team, the PR, the globalization, the community service, and they all just kind of got their first interaction with an influencer to kind of get our thoughts on what's kind of going on. Of course, now we've kind of evolved to doing meetings with different people within Com2uS, and so now we all connect individually to give us, our feedback so that they can make the game bigger and better. So that was pretty cool. And then the second thing was I'd have to say the Mobile Masters, 2017 Mobile Masters. They took a big, I feel like they took a big gamble with that whole event, just trying to get a feel for it. And, it was a fantastic event. It was a big success. I've never seen Com2uS employees smile from ear to ear. And I knew at that time when it all got done that there was just going to be more and more. And I just knew that they were going to keep on going with it. And of course, fast forward to now, we're 3 years deep into SWC events, obviously one of our favorite events of all time. So just going to be more happy to be a part of those two events. Pretty good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, was there an in-game one? Did I miss that?
Oh my God! Sorry, I was talking so long. I'm like, okay, I better just stop talking.
It wouldn't be you without some fails. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Right?
Epic fail. Epic fail. Sorry,
in
the chat. Okay, sorry. I'd say the biggest in-game moment probably has to be the LD5, November 2019. Pulling that.
You remember what time?
What time? I mean, it was not the exact time, but it was November 20th, 2019. That was my birthday. It was a birthday summon session.
Ooh, okay.
I don't remember the exact time. Sorry.
What was it? What was the LD95 again that you got for
Grogan. That obviously the best unit of all time. So it's probably going to be in there. It's going to be in your questions here. That any unit that you have to feel the need of buff or nerf, that's going to be down there. Spoiler alert. But
all right, I'm curious to see what you got to say about that then. Okay. All right. How about you, sir? Yeah, how about you?
All right. So my favorite IRL event was definitely the Chicago meetup, because the Chicago meetup was the first time that I was able to actually meet the community at all. I was not a chatter. I didn't talk in chat. I wasn't big into guild community. So I had friends. I had Mike and boyfriends that I'd gotten into Summoners War, but for the most part, I hadn't actually gotten a chance to meet anyone who just organically loved the game as much as I did, that I didn't force into it. So the Chicago meetup was a huge thing. I got to meet Gigi, and Childish was there. And thanks to Childish, I won one of the giant Angelmon plushies. And he pulled the grand finale. They had all these big events, and the last one, he pulled my number, and I was just rigged. I was so excited because everybody knows I'm obsessed with merch. Merch is the biggest thing in the world for me. I love everything about the design and the art of this game, so I just want so much of it. That was the first day I ever got real Summoners War merch. It was huge for me. And then in-game, this is going to sound really weird, but I had convinced myself until I started streaming I wasn't capable of clearing TOA hard. So the first month I streamed Summoners War, everybody told me, of course you can clear TOA hard. And with the first try, I cleared it. And so that was a really, really oh, I can do better in the game than I thought I could moment. So that was really, really good for me.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I won't forget the first time I met you at the Chicago meetup as well. You came up and no, not Chicago meetup, but the which was the one? The Florida. Orlando.
Yeah.
Came up to me and showed me Molong. Oh, what a great experience! Yeah, it puts you right in my naughty list in the books of people I've met before, huh?
The funny thing was for that same account, or no, right before that, I subbed double Chamey for somebody, and they're like, "There's no way you subbed double Chamey and then the Molong."
Okay, all right. I didn't actually know that, but now I do. Thanks for that. All right, best for last here. Stoic. What was your experiences?
I feel like it's so easy to say casting last year was my best experience, but I'm gonna date it back. I could have went to Mobile Masters. I didn't go, and the only reason I didn't go to Mobile Masters is I was never a convention kind of guy. I was never a guy to be oh, there's a gaming convention going on or people gathering for, video games or anything like that. I was never, ever that kind of person. 2017, I went out to, it was a stretch. And so I only went because my brother-in-law and my friend wanted to go. They're the ones that got me into Summoners War in the first place. And they go, 2017, the tournament was going to be out in New York. I came out to New York and I had an absolute blast. And that's kind of what got it all hooked for me. And I was I want to come to every community event, any live event for this game. I just wanted to be a part of it. And I couldn't wait to finally do all that kind of stuff. So I think 2017 was that huge icebreaker for me for just all events in general. Cause I want to go to conventions now. I want to go to all the PAX East that I can. you know, Twitch cons, all of it. Like, I can't wait to do any of that. And sadly, there's none of that going on right now. But I legit, it's a bug. It's a bug, and I need more of it.
Hey, the last convention was awesome though. Thanks for you know, helping me kind of facilitate. It was pretty fun. Yeah, the last one that we got together, played some ping pong, had a little meetup set up. Which one was that one? That was the Boston one, right?
For PAX East.
Yeah, the Boston one. That was pretty fun. How about your in-game experiences? What's your favorite in-game experience? I mean, I think we kind of know, but you know, this is a different one.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious. So my first year, I pulled an LD Nat 5. The LD Nat 5 happened to be Ragdoll for me. Helped me get G1 that year as well. So it's pretty cool to say that. Also, it's like, how often does a video game get you to tremble at your fingertips? And I just happened to be sitting on the toilet in the bathroom, and I immediately held the phone, and I had like shaking hands to like put it down on the floor as I'm like I couldn't stop shaking for some reason. I legit had to yell out to my wife, please don't make fun of me. I am just freaking out right now. And I just like, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, but it was such a great moment. And it's funny that a video game can get you to those moments.
So the real question is, at that exact moment when you're on the toilet and you summon the LD Nat 5, did you remember to wipe?
I don't. The whole thing is all blur at this point. I could have walked out, no panic.
The truth comes out. The truth comes out.
Hesitated way too much, though. He definitely didn't wipe.
He definitely didn't wipe.
Where's your decorated like toilet seat? Where do you have to put it?
So cool.
Right here.
It's so cool.
It's right there.
Wait, was it actually that seat?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, dude, what the?
That was the seat.
Imagine if it was.
That's it. That was it. Logie, that's it.
If that was it, I was gonna say that's disgusting. But hey, you know, it's, it is what it is. All right, I guess I'll finish off with my favorite IRL moments and in-game moments. My favorite IRL moment definitely goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Mobile Masters. That was literally the best event ever. That was the first event to kind of go and like all the different content creators to meet up, right? We had YDCB, we had Shredded, Childish, we had like everybody there, right? It was a pretty amazing event. And the craziest thing that some people know, but not everybody knows, is that was kind of like when I was like really getting into streaming. When I was like first starting, I was streaming, I was ramping up, and I guess I was, you know, large enough in the community that they invited me for that. And had I not attended that event, I don't know if I would be here today, you know, with you guys doing a podcast and, you know, growing the community with you guys here in Summoners War. And the crazy thing is, I missed the flight. I almost missed the entire event. Do you guys know that? Did you guys know that? Right? Nope. So what happened was that I thought my flight to New York, which is like halfway across like the planet, right? I mean, it's like Hawaii all the way to the other side of, you know, the North America. But to get to New York, I missed my flight because I thought it was the next day. So I remember clearly waking up in bed, checking my phone to like a million calls from like the director, whoever's like, you know, coordinating, you know, the flights. And they're like, and even the guy who's supposed to pick me up, and they're like, hey, I'm at the airport. Where are you? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in Hawaii, bro. Like, you trying to pick me up in New York at the airport. I'm in Hawaii, bro. So I frantically freaked the hell out. I called them. I talked to them and like, okay, well, if you can still get here, you can still be a part of the event, right? I mean, I'm sure they're freaking out as well. And so I called my dad and I was like, God, can you take me to the airport? Like right now, I gotta go. Get to the airport. And luckily there was one last flight that I could catch, and I would actually make it to New York in time just before the next day for the event. So it's a good thing that they planned ahead of time, and they gave us like a couple days to kind of like get situated there. So I had a little bit of leeway, and so I made it to Mobile Masters, but I almost missed it. It. So
hey, we gotta add something to that. So for the people out there that are like you know how you exaggerate, like, oh man, I was so freaking out. Like no, he's not capping right now. He freaked out. He sent texts with caps to every single influencer there. He was like, oh my God. I was just so, and I don't blame him. Like, you know, this is a big event, like to miss something like that. Oh my goodness. But
yeah, I'm like freaking out. It's the first Summoners War event, man. I'm a huge fanatic, right? I'm like an Omega nerd. I mean, I like to say I'm less nerdy now, but I was like an Omega nerd. So I was like, damn, I don't want to miss that, right? I can meet YDCV. I can meet Childish. Like, bro, like I gotta get there, bro. But that's my IRL favorite moment of all time that I will never forget. And my favorite experience in-game, though, I guess my best in-game experience was probably the moment that I got accepted into the guild Delicious, right? They're still a top guild now, but they used to be the best guild on Aegis server, right? and they had some of the best players in there. A lot of their players now are part of the best Asia guild, which is GOAT now. But yeah, was the acceptance into there was the most amazing experience in my opinion, because I met a lot of great people that actually motivated me and actually contributed to me being a streamer and giving me a lot of motivation to stream and to create content. So yeah,
I was thinking it was going to be Molon like the chat is.
I know, right?
Wow.
I mean, Molon will always be there, but that's like the cop-out answer, right? You know what I mean? Like it'll always be there. It's a cop-out answer.
When you got that Nat 5, it went more viral than COVID, for real.
Okay, relax.
On YouTube, right? We got to cut that COVID out. Siri, cut the COVID out.
Probably could be heard around the world. And my excitement for Molon, I'll tell you that. But all right, thank you guys for sharing some of your experiences. I thought that was a pretty fun topic. I like asking people that, right, just to hear what they have to say. It's crazy to see how far Summoners has come in the last couple of years.
Right?
Yeah, so crazy. All right, hopping into topic number 2, getting into the nitty-gritty details of Summoners War. We just had a huge update. It just dropped a couple days ago. Repeat battle or auto farming, all this craziness, right? Everything that just got released. What are your thoughts? All right, what do you like? What do you not like? What do you suggest? What's any of your experiences
I have one big thought.
Go ahead.
One big thought. How many people in chat right now are out of crystals? Huh?
Oh, that's
I'm very low.
That
Is
so
everybody out of
true.
crystals?
I'm getting
Because
low.
I saw this a mile away. So it's something that I was kind of preaching last time, and I was preaching before. Like, everybody really wanted auto farming. I think this is great. Like, everyone's going to get like crazy amount of farming done. I think this is just awesome for the community. So it's all about like closing the gap, right? We're getting more farming done. People are getting more runes, and the free-to-play community, they just got this. You know what I mean? Like, boom, there's your bump. Auto farming's in there. More runes are coming in. All right, that's cool. So all the crystals are gone. Com2uS, we now need more crystals. So more crystals in the event. Com2uS, give us more. So here's your pay-to-win community. So they have this crystal. We got auto farming, and like this is the gap. This is the gap that we now have to close because the pay-to-win community has an infinite amount of crystals. Okay, so I know auto farming helped some people, but I want you to know that like this is who else it helped, okay? And I want you to know that closing the gap with auto farming that's my point.
There's a lot of I would say pros and cons to everything that's done, right? Any move that Com2uS makes, I mean, I guess you can kind of understand that they're slower on things because there's a lot of things that we don't think about as a player, right? We think just about us, right, in our situation, and we don't think of every aspect. And it's not our job to figure out every aspect. It's Com2uS's job. So these are things and factors that come into play that people don't think about. So it's great that you brought that up, Stork. Anybody else who's
I was gonna say I had this immediate sense after we updated of like, what do I do? Like I was like, I pushed auto farm and I was like, why do I feel like empty or like I'm not doing something or like what is this feeling? Is like all of a sudden I don't know what the game is anymore. Like it felt really weird. I felt like I need to interact, like I need to be pushing something, I need to be doing something. So I just like caught myself, I keep catching myself just like staring at my island for no reason. Like I'm supposed to be, I don't know what to do with it anymore. So I've been going out and cleaning out storage, I've been powering up runes, but there's this weird, like, I don't know, like I called it muscle memory where you're constantly hitting replay and selling. And so I keep finding myself clicking into Kairos to go into like dragons or go back into Necro. And then I'm like, no, I got to go back out. I go all the way back out. And I keep doing that because it's just so ingrained into me that I need to keep pushing something. So even though I love it, I think it's kind of I'm having like a little bit like immediate culture shock change just from like how different it is to actually play the game now.
I think you just have to use it kind of appropriately at this point. You know what I mean? So think of why you can use auto farming, because you can do your runes, you could do some summons, all that like extra downtime in the game. Like it's not considered downtime because you're always farming. So if you were to say like farming on stream, you just do your normal thing. Nothing's going to ever change. But if you're working on runes, if you're trying to summon, if you're doing like anything that's taking time or taking your attention away from farming on Summoners War, you can now do that. Unless it has a loading screen, then you can't.
I agree with Stoic on that, yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it feels mildly inefficient. Like if you're gonna be like just maxing, because now that you can go over your max energy, you can just constantly have no downtime whatsoever in farming other than hitting replay. So it almost feels like if you were to like go back, it feels like you're being inefficient, even though effectively efficiency is kind of pretty similar, assuming you're staying on top of it the same way you were before. But it just feels like I need to be using it because it is here and it is like the best method now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
what I was
about
gonna
you,
say
Gigi?
is like
Go ahead.
for people like okay, I think that yes, if like you have the time during the day to like continuously look at your phone, like maybe auto farming is not gonna be as efficient, kind of like what Stoic was saying. You just have to like learn when to use it and when not to use it. But for me, for example, like one of the reasons that I didn't play Summoners War for the last year and a half is because I just didn't have the time. And there were times that I would try to play throughout the day and like I would just forget to click replay. So my phone was just sitting there for 8 hours until it died. And you know, I didn't get any farming done.
Feels
So
bad.
at one point I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give up. I'm not gonna do it because you know I have to get stuff done. But now with this, I'm gonna be able to just leave my phone on and you know, I'm farming and I'm getting better because like my goal for next year is to be guardian. So I'm gonna get it done. One way or the other, I'm gonna get it done.
I have the
So-
same goal. Same goal.
So we're gonna do it, sir. We're gonna do it. And yeah, this is super efficient for people, for example, who have like those 8-hour jobs where like you can't continuously look at your phone and you just like maybe put it in your pocket after you hit, you know, battle. Yeah,
Slide it in.
so
Yep.
it's great for me at least. But I totally get like where you're coming from because like the other night when the update happened, we started using this during stream, and then I was like, okay, so what do we do now? Like, where do we go from here? Do we power up ruins? Do we decorate the island? What do we do? But also, one thing I'd love to see is the dimensional hole auto farm because that is pretty boring to me.
True, yeah.
It is.
I think that's
Really
been a
is.
pretty big suggestion for the community is
Yeah.
dimensional hole, as well as it's a little bit of stretch, but people want TOA. If they could set a team and let it keep going until fail, right? If it fails, they lose the energy, and then it could just go all the way because some people want to be able to do all of TOA. So that's what they said. I don't think that's too bad of an idea, right? It's not a big issue in my eyes, I guess you can say. But yeah, what are your
Like
thoughts
maybe
as well
do
as?
every like 10 floors.
Oh
Like
yeah,
with auto, and then
Fair.
for the bosses that you can't auto those because some people don't like to auto the bosses, so
Mhm.
have some sort of feature where it has like a flexibility in the auto farm. I don't know,
Right.
that's
Mhm.
something I would like to see.
right.
Let them clear it. Like maybe they got to clear the TOA 100 like the first time they have to do it manually. Then once they get it done, then they can have that auto option or something like that. too.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
actually. I
that
like
would be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And because they still need the rune and units required to auto it, right? It's not that
Yeah.
easy to a certain extent.
Right.
What about you, Childish? What's your thoughts on the updates? How are you enjoying it so far as well?
I'm enjoying it, yeah, for a couple of reasons. The big thing is I think that Com2uS did a really good job like bringing it out. I think like they really set aside the time. I know we were all kind of down once we got to see the shift update. We were like, oh man, they talked about it, but they didn't bring it out. But they took their time with it, and I think they did a good job because the ability to have this picture in picture while being able to do other things is something that I don't think we've ever seen in any other game. Every other game may have auto farming, but you know that's it. You auto farm, that's it. They can't break away and do a few things. While we always see, we'd love to have a couple more things to be able to do on the side. We still have options to do, and that's really good. But I think as a streamer and a YouTuber, I'm pretty excited. Actually, wait a second, Gigi, earmuffs. Okay, cover up. I'm actually excited to be able to like farm during my stream time now, so I could do more content on other people's accounts, okay? Because we're not supposed to account here. I could do other content on other people's accounts with the sub RTA and sub Guild Wars and IslandGrown summons, all that other fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I agree. If you have multiple devices, it's quite nice now without having to pay as much attention to it anymore,
Mhm.
which I think is great. Absolutely great. What I really enjoy is that I believe after like your 10 runs or it fails, it gives you a little like buzz, right? It gives you a little like vibrate and buzz. So it's great. So what I do every night is I duct tape my phone to my head so I can
There it
sleep in 10-minute intervals, right? So I can sleep because my runs are about a minute and a half. So I get to sleep for about 10 to 15 minutes per run, and then it buzzes and I can just replay again. It's great. Before it wasn't possible because like, let's be real, you can't only sleep like a minute, right? So, but now you have 10 minutes. It's great. It's been solid.
I
Been
have
able to farm throughout.
32 minutes, so there's that.
Oh, lucky you.
That's nice.
The slower you are, the more sleep you get, Pog.
That's it. 32 minutes is solid.
That Lumericious solo team. Go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, you don't even have to do that. Just talk to Jirai. He can build you a 747 team to get it done as well.
747, one of
That
each,
was-
right? One of each. All right,
Power
so,
nap team. That's what it's called.
some other things in the update, I guess. There's a new pack. There's like the energy going to 200, and then like the refill being higher. What's your thoughts? Right? Anything else to add on this update, as well as maybe things that you also want to see in this update for auto farming, right? Because this is new. It just got released, so there's gonna be bugs. There's gonna be things that are not efficient, but we suggest it, and hopefully, it's heard and it's changed. What are your thoughts?
I think we really need auto sell on. We need to be able to set an
Yeah.
auto sell for runes That has to happen.
What do you mean by
Especially if you're
auto-sell?
like set at the end of like giants, like 6-star blues and less gone. Like just get rid of them, because if you're, for example, like if you're farming, if you're leveling something, if you're just in Famon farming, clicking 10 times a 3-star like revenge rune is the most awful thing in the world. Like
True.
it takes forever. So if we could just like like 6-star blue and below gone, like that would make life easier, because you're not, for the most part, unless you're in a certain position, like other games have like an auto sell feature where if it weeds out for you and automatically sells through it in like equipment or rune or whatever. They have that in the rune section, but if they had that in the auto farm section, you wouldn't even have to deal with it getting to your storage, and that'd be really convenient.
Do you know what other games actually have the auto sell for those by chance? Any ones that you played?
I know there's a couple. I can't remember if it wasn't King's Raid. It was something else that I played
Speaking of
recently.
Raid, they do auto-sell in Raid. This stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Download today using my special links down below. Use code ISLAND or Surin or Stoic or Childish for 100 clan boss keys. Yeah, 10 mystery. Okay, I'm just kidding. They do have auto-sell though in Raid. They do have auto-sell in Raid. Yeah. I always gotta meme it once per podcast, even though it's not sponsored by Raid.
I'm gonna cover my ears now.
Right.
But what do you guys think about? I mean, auto sell could be a thing, but what about at least a multi-selector, right? So you can go.
I would love that too.
Yeah,
Like if
select
they
all
don't
and
allow,
sell, right?
I just froze. Yeah, if they don't allow that, I would prefer to do the multi. So just click. Just like I wish they would. I don't know if that happened yet, because guys, I've been away for a year. But
Right.
you know, in the rune management, I wish we were able to select runes to sell to. That's something I'd love to see.
Mm.
But I don't know if it's on there yet or not.
Because we have it in the regular runes, right? When you look at runes, you can select, sell. So if we had that for now this the repeat battler, especially when we're farming Famen, we don't need those garbage runes, right? And if we could also have it for like siege, sometimes siege boxes, it's minute but kind of nice, and world boss, because we get all those crap runes, or just make it so we don't get those crap runes anymore, that'd be great, right? To multi-click and sell would be pretty simple to have.
So you can actually do it in the management? Chat is saying that you can do it in management. You can actually select multiple runes and sell them? You can actually do that?
I've never done it myself because I've
Me
never
neither.
bothered.
I've never done it in the management. It's possible though, but typically when I have the runes that are in my management, I'm not really usually selling more than one at a time. You know what I mean? Like I want multi sells when it comes to like the garbage runes, which is I just look at it, I just select the garbage ones. But yeah, true. Speaking of management, artifact management is out. Have you guys checked that out? What's your thoughts on it, and what can be improved? Because this is just the initial release of this artifact management. How do you guys like it?
I haven't really looked too much into it yet. All I know is you can locate your artifacts now, and that's kind of big.
I'm sad to say that I haven't taken a look at it either. I just been auto farming as much as possible, bleeding crystal.
The only problem I have with it is that it kind of looks like a Google Doc that you started working on, but you didn't really finish it. It's like bullet points. And the way that it's organized, I think I've looked into it. I think it does group like your skill 1, 2, 3 in order. I think it does order them like that. But I wish there was I know it's wordy, so it looks kind of weird. It looks like a big paragraph of information that's nice to see all the stats that's on there, but it is kind of like I guess there's not a better way to do it, which is like, I don't know how to make it look cleaner, but it is just kind of like a big bullet point list of like words, which is kind of like, when you're used to seeing something like rune stats or you see plus this, it's really clean and it conveys a little bit easier than just having to read through, okay, well, negative this much % on that, element. It's wordy, but I don't know any other way to make it look.
The substats of artifacts are a lot longer, right, than what we're used to. So I think maybe we just have to get used to it. Because but it is wordy. It looks a little weird. When I saw it, I was like, wow, it's kind of cool that you see everything that's going to go on your unit, but it's a lot of text, right? It's a lot of text. Yeah. But overall, I guess I'm kind of happy because I don't really like looking at artifacts the way it was before, because that gave me flashbacks of how summoners were used to be. There was no rune management for all you zoomers born in the generation of summoners having a management. That's how we used to look up runes. Every single rune was looked that way and selected that way. What we did
doing runes years ago was the worst. It was the worst experience. I hated ruining things back when I started playing.
I agree. Any other thoughts on the update? Anything else we can suggest? Any
more
other
settings.
issues?
I think we all want to be able to edit our settings
Settings.
Like
Okay.
if it fails, do we get a notification? Can we start it back up? I wish, I'll be honest with you, like automatic energy refill, that'd be cool. But say goodbye to all your crystals if it was an option.
Yeah.
Like have a limit, set it to like,
Yeah,
okay, don't
yeah,
fill up
yeah,
more than
exactly.
3,000 crystals or something like that. That would be cool.
You know what? I have to agree with you there, Stoic. But it's kind of scary to agree this, like, because I think it's human nature that we want things to become easier. But then, isn't there a point we gotta ask ourselves, like, are we even freaking playing the game anymore? Like, you know what? I just want auto farm with auto sell with auto power up, and if I set a certain amount of speed or stats, it would sell, or if not, it would keep it, and then put it on units that are PVE and automatically rerun the units for me.
Yep.
When are they gonna
That's
release that?
about right.
And you don't
I feel like it's
play
getting
that.
crazier, right?
More settings though. More settings that you
That
could
sounds like
edit
a great
your
update.
auto farming though. So.
It's crazy, dude. Like, I have to ask myself too. It's like, this is what I want, but do I really want this? Because like, am I even playing the game anymore, man? Like, feels bad, right?
Well, all right. So I'm only saying up to the 10 runs though. So that means if you have
Fair.
10 runs and it got through 6, but you're out of energy, I wanted to at least do the refill, finish off the 10 runs.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's not just automatic refills and burn through it all. I still wanted to complete the 10 runs.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been overloading it. I'm right now 588 at a 180. I have no idea why. I'm just so lazy. I just want to get it. It's just so bad.
Crazy.
I think I don't wanna
Yeah,
do that.
I guess I think they've made it so that if it failed, you have to click replay yourself, because I guess they wanted to push players to, right, try to make safer teams. And maybe it's a good thing too, because let's say a player is, because there's a lot of players that are inefficient, right? They start running inefficient stuff, they start failing a lot, they're just gonna run through it and not realize it, and then after that waste a lot of their resources, right, from not paying attention and running 10 runs and only 5 or 6 succeed, right? It's just wasted resources. Whereas I guess a little punishment for not doing it successfully is you have to click the replay, which I don't think is a big punishment, which is kind of nice, I guess. Maybe it promotes more, consistent teams and gameplay. But I don't know, I'm conflicted because I've had some games where it auto runs through even if you fail,
Oh, I would hate that, honestly, because I tend to fail a lot at my teams. Like, it would be very inefficient for me.
Yeah.
And because
Well, a lot
of
of
this, because
people-
of the auto farming, I'm running a safe team right now. I refuse to go for speed right now. Just make the runs.
I think
I'm
you got to
happy.
go 95% or higher success rate. That's kind of like my number-ish that I've told people.
100%.
What were you going to say, Sir? Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, and you're, for the most part, especially since you are the whole goal of auto farm is to be able to put it down and get your work done. If you really don't care about like an extra 60 seconds or an extra couple, seconds here and there per run, you're really not going to notice that either. So why go for the fast run if you could just do it consistently, have a little bit extra time to yourself then? I think it makes sense, especially if you're auto farming, to do it that way.
Right. I agree. So overall, it seems like the community is pretty excited and happy about this auto farm. We'll see what things we can suggest more in the future to improve it. But
more crystals.
What's that?
More crystals.
More crystals. Yeah,
No, that'll bring
like
more
that.
packs.
More crystals.
No more packs. Please, God.
More crystals is good. I mean, I think right now, if you're free to play, I think the free to play players from my community, they say you can get about 5 to 6K crystals for free in a month if you just do all the stuff, right?
Wow.
So it's not bad. It's not
That's
bad.
a lot. That's a
not bad
lot
at all.
And it's assuming
good.
that you
That'll last
clear
about
all
2
content, but you're not like an end game player, just like mid game clearing all the content. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You're
So,
definitely not doing BJ5 with that.
that's like a couple days and then you're done.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
BJ5s, right? Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Great topic here. I'm curious to see this topic start to evolve a little bit more in the coming weeks of our podcast. And as we get more people in, we'll continue to, give suggestions and improve the game overall. Quality of life, right, for everybody. So speaking of quality of life, next topic, kind of a quality of life question. What areas of the game would you like to see updated or changed? Like what are you enjoying and not enjoying? And, what do you want to see fixed? Because, we just got some stuff, but I mean, not to ask for more Com2uS, but we'd like to bring more topics up to light for your future updates that you may dive into. Right? What areas are kind of stale that you don't really like right now, or what do you want changed?
Everybody says world boss. Everybody wants to see some new world boss, but how many times are we going to keep bringing it up? But once again, if you don't bring it up, it will never happen. So I guess keep bringing up world boss until it finally happens.
We brought up auto farm for the last 3.5 years and we got it right. Keep trying. There you go.
That's true. It's true.
3.5 years, we'll get another change.
I think the process in which Com2uS has been like paying attention more to the community, right, and listening in, watching their content creators with their videos, these podcasts, and like things on like forums and whatnot has been great the last year or two, I would say. So if we can continue to do that, I think we'll get a lot of changes and things being heard from them, which I think is amazing. So
they're responding so much quicker.
Yeah.
So much quicker to community problems. It's really nice. Honestly, it's changed. I think the amount of things that they've changed, especially when it comes to what they've given us free to play, the events. I mean, we have twice as many events as we used to have. It's so much more friendly to everybody. I mean, they've done so much. I'd say, you kind of feel like a boomer saying this to players who start now, but you're like, you don't know what it was like the struggle of waiting for events and the struggle of waiting, like, when am I getting, you never saw summons, and now we get summons constantly. So yeah, I totally think Com2uS is just doing phenomenally better than they did, years ago.
Quick praise on events, like just Com2uS with the events, man. I don't know how many games out there do events like Com2uS does. They give you so many materials, whether it's energy crystals, mana, summons, just an abundance of even high-end materials. We're getting, like, before it used to be like you get a Devilmon at the end, you get an LD or a legendary at the end. Now it's like you get a Reap, a Devilmon, a bunch of scrolls, crystals, and it's like you get the lot of it now for like per event. Like, just the events have been outstanding, and it's been that way for like roughly a year, I want to say.
Yeah. 2019 hit really hard because that's when you had a lot of different gacha games come in that really gave Com2uS a run for the money.
Definitely. I mean, one thing that people always respond, which I hate, is that, oh yeah, Com2uS should be doing this. Like, it's people that say that, oh, they should be doing this because, they're making money off of us, right? But it's a business. They have to make money. They have to thrive. But I'd like to say that no matter what business, even if it's IRL from your local bakery to whatever it is, as long as they're doing their job well, which I think they are, and they're making money, I don't see any problem with that at all. Right? I mean, look at it, all these other mobile games, right? You say Com2uS makes money, but look at all these other mobile games that are out. Com2uS is not even at the top in the store in terms of like sales and revenue per month. These other games are making a crap ton. And can you really tell me that these other mobile games on top are doing more than Com2uS? Whether it's live events, whether it's paying attention to the community and giving more things out? I have to disagree. Right? Now, of course, we're biased because we play Summon as well, right? But to a certain extent, it has a lot of merit. It does have a lot of merit, right? So for me, packs and like them making money off of packs and whatnot is not a problem to me, right? It's what they do for the community and what they do with those funds, right? SWC, hopefully live events again, because I know live events last year were very successful. Gigi, you know all about that, but now you probably know they were very expensive as well. People don't think about that, right? They're expensive to do live events, very, very expensive to do those things. But I think it's something that people don't think about oftentimes.
Don't forget those events were free.
They're all free.
Gigi
free,
fed us
free,
so
free
well.
stuff.
We ate
no entry fee.
so
Come on.
well.
Oh, there was so much good
the
food.
one thing about the meetups is that they're all free, guys. Like, everything that's given out, you don't pay for your food, you don't pay for your drinks, you don't pay for any of the prizes you get. Everything is free. So Island really brings up a good point, because if you've set up any other event, even if it's not Com2uS, like, they all cost money. Like, you have to bring money in to treat your guests and everything like that. And there's honestly not another company like doing what Com2uS does in terms of trying to bring the community together in different places throughout, at least for us in like the US, trying to bring the Americas together, where there's like Brazil and Canada and then like several cities in the US. So it's something that if you guys ever hopefully we'll have them in, because COVID is screwing everything up. But if you guys do get to have a chance to go to any of the meetups, I highly recommend them. Even if you're shy, I've seen so many people, make friends. They come in by themselves and they're like, oh, I don't know anybody. It's by the end of the day, they're already sitting with somebody else making friends, and they have new buddies to play with summoners for. So yeah, that's all I got to say about the meetups.
That's great. I mean, you see Com2uS, they're making a lot of money. We know they're making a lot of money, but it's nice to see that they're using their money and what they're using it for, right? You're seeing what they're doing. These are the games, bro. They do it, and what do they use their money for, right? Tell me, right? So if that is ever going to, this is only out there for the haters, I guess you can say, right? If there's ever an argument on hey, they're a greedy, company and whatnot. I mean, name me another game that's not. Then in general, that means that by definition you don't like mobile games or mobile companies. So by definition, you shouldn't be in the space or play the mobile games, right? It's very simple when it comes down to it. Yeah, or you're just a person that likes to complain and hate. I don't know. Right, just this was my simple terms. Yeah, but I really hope that Com2uS continues to I want to push them to value the community and to use funds and allocate more funds to doing things like this, right? I think that's great. Absolutely great. And it's by far, I think, one of the best moves and what can distinguish themselves in the mobile space, because they are a very, very old mobile game. For a game to be this old and out this long with this kind of community is insane, right? A lot of the other ones like E7 and stuff like that, they're newer, right? They're a lot newer. So they have a lot more, they have a lot of other things going for them. So, yeah.
And real quick, this has been happening to me a lot more ever since the patch update did hit. Did you ever tell like when things start fading out and it goes like into like a negative color? This has been happening a ton. So if I go to select, let's see. Yeah, so you can't even see the stats because it all like faded out.
Oh no.
So this
I have never seen that. I've never seen that.
I've not seen that either.
That might be what
That's
device
happening
you're
to
using.
Mike's account too. I saw that on Mike's when he's on auto farm. If the auto farm glitches, it does that in the auto farm panel too.
This has never happened to me. It happened to me a little bit before. I've never had this has happened to me so much ever since the patch hit. So I don't know how many other people.
Are you guys on Android or iOS?
Android.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There's
that's
your problem right
something
there.
that Com2uS should take down and listen to do. There's bound to be these bugs. So hopefully they fix it soon. Right. But it's only for that screen, right? After that, but when you go out of it, you're good again?
No, I've had it on the island as well. I've had it happen on
Really?
the island. It's when the game has been open for a long time and hasn't been closed. It happens a lot. But ever since the patch, this has been like I get an hour and a half out of it, boom, and it does like the negative color and doesn't show certain things.
All right. Oh, speaking of that, have you noticed leaving your device for a long time makes it a lot hotter now when you're doing auto replay? I feel the
Yeah.
Oh my god,
processing,
yes.
right? It takes a lot more processing on your phone. So now players need a better device, to be able to do these auto runs.
My iPad is so hot on the back that I turn the game off because it really starts to freak me out.
Wow.
I've noticed that for sure.
I'm burning through my iPad Pro right now because it actually does get really hot.
We got the devices lined up: iPad Pro Mini, phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess there's nothing really. I'm not a tech person. I don't know if you guys are, but I don't know that there's any way to solve that, right? It's just the game is processing more, right? It's just trying to do more. So I don't know the logistics behind it, but if they can fix that, that would be great, I guess. But
I've seen phone coolers and stuff that like attach the phone. It's like a fan blown in the back.
Your
I don't know
your phone
how
in the
great those
freezer, it'll be
things
good.
are, but I've seen those things popping up.
what Gigi said, so you can take your auto
Put it
run
in
and
the
stick your phone in the
freezer.
freezer for 10 minutes and then take it out. So if you guys are doing that, that's from Gigi. That's her suggestion. I don't suggest doing that. Okay, I take no liability on your broken devices.
Please don't try that at home.
Oh man, but I've had a couple times where my device has gotten really hot, and it's scary because it can overheat and it can just like mess everything up. Right? You want to avoid overheating anything, your computer or any kind of technical device. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Any other suggestions you want to bring
One
up?
thing I'd love to see in
Oh,
arena or even TOAs, like they change it up every month where like you have to beat it by doing different challenges. Like, okay, so this month we're gonna do only kind of like what they're doing with the dimensional predator, where it's like now you have to use one element, or next month it could be something like only attack type monsters or something like that. I'd love to see challenges, something that gets me thinking of different teams, because like I've been using the same TOA team for like 4 years, so I want to be challenged again into making new things happen.
I hope they evolve the Predator a little bit more. Like right now they're giving different rules, but the Predator has the same like rules, right? The bosses, enemies, same rules. But I think they'll probably cycle through a couple different ones. I think they're gonna do like for Predator at least, same rules for the boss, and then like cycle through a couple different rules for the units you can bring in. And then after that, change the boss and then cycle those rules again. So people can get used to it and do it. Because when it first came out, it was tough. But then I think people found the strategy, and now it's a lot simpler in my personal opinion to be able to do them. Yeah. What were you going to add, Childish? Some updates or things you want to see added to the game?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else is feeling this as well, but I'd love to see some. I mean, I know you guys have been doing some work when it comes to RTA matchmaking, but I would love to see a little bit more work on that. I don't know if there is a way to make it, like super fair, but to kind of give it a little experience on me, like I've always been generally between Fighter 3, Conquer 1, Conquer 2, but as of late, I've been testing out some new teams, which has definitely dropped me into like the low range of Fighter 3, and I got a taste of it firsthand as to how broken it is being going up against Fighter 3 players that they say Fighter 3, but they're really G3. I remember I think I even did one on stream where I got super excited because I was trying to do a YOLO comp and they banned my Triton when Chiwa was my first one. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. We're going to get this. Like we got the first turn, and the person beat me without a speed lead on their Bastet and I still had like 85% or like 15% of my attack bar to get. Like they were capped off on speed. And I'm just like, man, like, do I need to get good or do I need to farm more? Now I can auto farm, but I don't. Like it was brutal.
What rank was this in?
brutal.
This is RTA, right? What rank was this?
RTA. I was in Fighter 3. Yeah, I'm a pro Fighter 3 player.
Dang, dude.
There has to be something, and I feel like it could be something as easy as like implementing the league system, where if you've hit like a Guardian the season before, that it'll have a back end recognition of like you're a Guardian League, right? So you get placed into Guardian League, and even if you drop, that it can't match you with other people from a lower league from the previous season. That would immediately solve the problem of like F3, F2 people getting farmed by Guardian players. They would just have to farm themselves at that point because there's enough of them down there. Everyone seems to think that there's enough like G3 or Guardian players with, all LDs. I mean, I hear about it constantly from people. Why is there, ragdoll Jaeger comps in F3 constantly? So if you had a back end kind of like league system where they couldn't match with, people that were Fighter 2 the season before, because nobody's going to jump really from like Fighter 2, Fighter 3 to G1 unless, you put, significant progression in. But if you get up to a certain point that you would obviously start to match with those people organically. But there's no reason for a Guardian player to organically match with a Fighter 2 player. It's not good. It really messes with your psyche. It really messes with people's psyche at that level.
I was going to say too. I mean,
placements locked you out.
Yeah.
Huh?
So let's say I place C2. And I can no longer go under C2. Is that fair to say that, you play C2 and you'll never go under C2? But I play C2 is because it's all based off of your is it based off your finish of the previous season as your placements in the following season? I forget how they work that out. But what if your placement locked you out of going lower? So that
but then you're giving them rewards for free. That's what people don't like. Because even if you could just say, okay, I don't feel like doing this season, and you get your aura, you get your now emotes.
Yeah, you didn't have to really work for it. So
yeah.
what I was thinking, kind of going off what you were saying as well, Surin, is that I've suggested this in the past as well, and it's kind of similar to the League as well as other ranked systems and games, where there's a little bit of an MMR system where as you do more battles, it basically what a rank system is. When you play, the more you do more battles, the game is trying to determine what rank you really are, your account is, right? So as you start doing more battles, you're going to actually start gaining less points. You know what I mean? Because that's your true rank. So if you start, you tank a lot of points, it's going to take you a lot of points to get back up because you're down there and you're farming, right? It's going to take you a significant amount of points to get back to Guardian now because you've done X amount of wings, right? You've done X hundreds of wings. So the game is saying, hey, that's your true MMR because you're down there. So you should be down there. And for you to get up, you have to prove yourself and be able to win a lot, right? So I think by having to force players to win more wings to get back up because they, use a lot of wings down there and farm, that will kind of deter them from, farming too much, if anything, right? There's still going to be people that are going to be farming in the ranks no matter what. There's almost no way to kind of get rid of, smurfing. I guess you can say every game has smurfing in some way or form. It's always figured out in every way or form, but to deter it a little bit would be nice. I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Conquer Ranks is experiencing a lot of older Guardian players as well. So anybody who's stuck in that C1, C2 range and you're getting, gold stars in there and you're seeing all these LD Nat 5s and you're seeing all these Guardian transmogs and stuff. Like, I'll be real, I've been hard stuck C2 for weeks now. Weeks.
One thing that is true though is that the players are getting smarter though. Like how smart players pick and draft and how what kind of units and their runes has definitely improved within the last couple of years. Like I still remember season 1 and 2. Like when you see a fighter, in my mind, a fighter 3 in season 1, season 2, that's like a bro, I can close my eyes and win, right? But now a fighter 3 may still not have that good runes, but when you go up against them, they got some of the standard picks, right? They got the standard units. They're picking Fran, right? They have accessibility to all these units, and they know how to draft a little bit better. So
players are cycling down. Players are cycling down.
Yep. So
not to mention
we're G1 right now. We're hard stuck C1.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
a lot of people have had so much time to summon for meta units. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I don't have a Gani Hathor," but then what if you have, you're sitting there with Oki, you're sitting there with Chiwu. You've had time to get these older units that have been in the game for years and years and years, and they have the counter picks to what you're doing. So that's especially with more time. They've had more time to, get that monster box up. So.
Exactly.
I think the biggest change was when the Com2uS introduced the opportunity to allow you to separate your PvE runes from PvP, and being able to
True.
do those moves. That allowed people to really, I think, fine tune their units to be that much better, and that's what I saw. And again, got to get it stemming from Surin's comment earlier about the low end range and running into Art of Ragdolls or whatever like that. Hey, shouts out Stoic one time. It's not even about running into LD players. It's about running into players that have the Guardian things, and their runes you could just tell are drastically better. They're drastically better here because there's always going to be somebody that's going to get lucky and get some LD, and that's fine. But when you can just tell like their rune quality just over the board, it's just like wow. Like I gotta get good. I gotta get back to farming. I shouldn't be doing RTA right now.
That's true.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see how far people have really progressed, for sure. How about you, Gigi? How's your experience in like RTAs? I know you do them for fun from time to time. You just have fun.
Anytime that I do RTA, it's no rune RTA level 1 monsters because that's the most fun I can have. I keep saying this over and over, but like, I've been so out of touch with the game for the last year and a half. And like, I'm coming back, and like the other night, I just learned that you can actually, level up your monsters, like with, like feeding them, like just clicking that little box and then your storage thing comes up. I was like, I had no idea this was impossible. So, it's like I'm relearning the game all over again for me. And like, I'm super scared of going into RTA. I want to do it because I keep seeing like, all of these amazing players, like obviously the latest fights with SWC. I'm like, oh my God, I want to do it so bad. But I know the reality is going to be something completely different for me. So I'm preparing, and that's why I'm farming. Like all I'm doing right now is farming. I don't do anything else. I don't even do guild content right now. So my guildies probably hate me because of that. But, I have to get better first before I can progress into that side of the game that I know is going to tilt me really, really hard.
So kind of, go ahead. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, no, I completely forgot about this thing that I wanted to talk about because I recently saw it in another game for an update that I would love to see change. A fast promotion option. Where you get the opportunity to basically you click the fast promotion and you click all the units that are maxed out that you want, and then it brings it to a selection screen that allows you to either click the ones you want to use as fodder or auto select. It'll auto select level 1 fodder, and then you can essentially click one button to like evolve multiple units at a time to speed up the process of people that are free to play, like using 1 stars and 2 stars to get up there. So I thought that was a really cool thing that I saw in this game that just recently came out. And I was like, man, if we had that on Summoners War, I might actually farm and level up 1-star units. So, I don't know. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I love these suggestions. A lot of good things that we throw out there. Sometimes we throw things that are kind of like outlandish, you know what I mean? But you never know, right? I mean, if you told me auto farming and some of these things that we have nowadays of management for runes, like when I used to play, I wouldn't believe it. So anything's possible, right? Anything's is possible.
Yeah. The updates like that they've had for like the last few months have been amazing. I keep saying I'm in a honeymoon phase with the game right now, and I'm really enjoying this new journey I'm going into. And yeah, just wanted to say that because I know you guys are all experienced. I'm over here like, yeah, I'm still that fighter 1, fighter 3 rank. So yeah.
True. Okay. Sick. Great topic. I mean, lots of things that we can see updated and changed in the game. We're going to go ahead and hop over to topic number 4. Buffs and nerfs. All right. I guess we'll start off with Childish since he had some things to talk about some particular units you'd like to see changed, right? Biased or non-biased, what would you like to see buffed and what would you like to see nerfed in the game?
Excuse me while I get my little Microsoft document over here so we can...
Yeah, go ahead and open up. Got the 5-page essay.
No. Can we get the PowerPoint, please?
The PowerPoint presentation, here it comes. No, I'm not going to do that. I guess we can say kind of like a blanket statement for some of the LD5s out there. I guess I'm going to give some love to the Nat5 family demons. I feel like the demons are just not in a good place right now. I would like to see some love across the board. But I would say, yeah, Nat5 demons is what I had. Grogan, if you want to throw it in there, no figure. But well, some random units that just kind of get lost. Some of the jack-o'-lanterns, jack-o'-lantern Windy, like, who are you, right? Like, what do you do? Wind Fire Joker, Jojo, Bomber, but he's a defense scaling unit or defense archetype. Love to see some attack stats on that. some of the newer units, some of the String Masters, some of the Gargoyles, they came out, we got all hyped up for them, and then like 5 days later, no one touched them.
Mhm.
Like I said, we can make an argument for a lot of different ones here. That's just a couple that I had in mind. I'm probably thinking about more along the way, but
You
the
got
first
any
thing we
suggestions?
got to do
Like
is
suggestions on
Groggy.
how to improve it? Like how would you want him improved? Have you thought about that?
Okay. So let me see here. Hold on. Let me bring it back up there. I closed it. You know what?
The sky's the limit.
As far as the demons go, I don't even know what you can do. Maybe reduce the cooldown time on him being down. Is 12 turns too much? Like on the water demon there?
Oh, you said water demon, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the cooldown
That's a
reduction
lot.
on that to come back a little bit.
I feel like these demons have places. You know what I mean? Like I'm in love with Mephisto. I think Mephisto is an awesome unit. I use it a whole lot. I run it on max resistance, and I know I shouldn't be playing max resistance and acting like it's a real thing. But I run max resistance on Mephisto, and I bring it into any sleep comp out there. They're not any sleep comp because I don't recommend anybody use it as a Hathor counter. It's not a good Hathor counter unless you have like you're running Veladrul along with it, because I think Veladrul is like you need to sleep the Vela. If they get the Vela, you know, they might be able to stop you from there. But Vela and Mephisto as a combination, not that bad. I've done it plenty of times, and it wrecks. I absolutely love Mephisto, and he's awesome. When they bring, I love it when they go Gani Hathor and Vanessa. They let them have it, and then it's an easy kill for me. So I think Mephisto has a time and place. I think Belial, the water demon, has a time and place. I've seen him deal massive damage. But I also wouldn't bring him as like, oh, this is my water damage deal, and I'll bring him into most fire drafts. So I don't think that's where Belial has a place. But I think he could use a little bit of a buff. Too many turns right now for how long he's down. I agree.
Yeah, and the community was saying that possibly like when he gets revived, give him an instant turn versus just full attack bar.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that. That can cut a lot of violent procs too. Because now if a unit is about to move, it cannot violent proc because the water demon would cut it. And that mechanic, as we know, is very strong, right? We have Triana, we have Antares, right? We know those mechanics are very, very strong. So if he gets a turn instantly, that would be big. That'd be really big to improve, for sure. Yep. But yeah, the demons are quite lackluster. Actually, I mean, the fire one's literally been sitting there forever. I think he saw a little bit of light though, because people that had fire demon were like, "Hey, he's actually not bad for this month's predator." But that's about it. Like they said he wasn't that bad for it, and I was like, oh, "Okay, I can see it, right? AOE damage, right? He can nuke pretty hard, so it's not too bad for that." But yeah, other than that, he needs some love. Right? Only the dark one I say is really good because we've seen it in high level competitive play quite often. So. Yeah, I know the dark one's fine, so don't give that one too much more. Actually,
I know, yeah.
Right. Any other units that you stated? Can bring some up to kind of discuss here. Give some good suggestions, or anybody else had any suggestions of units you would like to see buffed or nerfed? This is your chance for your bias. There's no problem.
I love Christina, and I love to talk about Christina, and I love trying to advocate for Christina. And the problem is the main argument is in every situation you'd bring Christina, you would be better off using a different unit. And that is actually true. And it's really upsetting because I think her stacking mechanic's really cool. I think her strip is really nice. I think that everything about her on paper looks really nice. And then she just disappears like instantaneously. If she's meant to be a turn 2 unit, why does she just get poofed? Like, you can make her really tanky, but then you can't get her to do enough damage. Christina has a cool kit, but there's something that just is really misaligned with her. That if she's really supposed to be a turn 2 unit that could do that kind of cleavy stuff turn 2, why is it like everyone's like, just bring Lucian? Why didn't you just bring a Lucian? I mean, if you're going to go into arena, if you're going to go in, obviously not RTA as much, but you can't bring her into RTA in 99% of situations. It would be better to bring literally any other unit. So I really want her to get something that would make her not just instantaneously be a liability.
I agree. I think, in the game, though, people have to understand certain units are for certain areas, right? The thing I hate the most is when a unit's not good for RTA specifically, it's garbage, right? So I think Christina, right, maybe she'll never be born or ever created to be used in RTA, but buff up her kit a little bit more so she's a little bit more viable in some of the other areas of the game, right? Whether maybe it's arena cleaving, maybe it's, dungeons, right? Whatever specific dungeon that she's OP in. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah. I like using her in Labyrinth. A lot, actually. Yeah, because she could take a lot. You take a lot more hits, and then obviously you're dealing with damage on a scaling level there, depending on what level you're going into. So she doesn't, disappear instantaneously. So it's a lot better there.
Too true. Any suggestions
Man,
from
I
you,
should be
Stoic or Gigi? Anything you want to see
I
change?
laugh at everybody who's saying the Beast Riders took a hard nerf. We've been seeing them absolutely wreck all
They're crushing.
SWC. I think it's hysterical for anybody to say when the Beast Riders got nerfed, it was a tough nerf. For anybody who thought it was a tough nerf, they were a hard Beast Rider player in the first place, and they were affected by this. So I think they needed to get over it. And if anybody ever says the Beast Rider nerf was tough, I think they need to kick rocks.
The Beast Rider nerf was tough. It was much
pretty
easier
tough.
to use them
It was
before.
definitely tough.
It was much easier to use them before, bro. Yeah, abuser right here, bro. That the blue one is a nuts, bro. Yeah, absolutely nuts. God dang it,
I wish
dude.
I had some. I wish I knew what it was like to be a Beast Rider abuser.
It's because people that played Beast Riders before remembered the power from it, so now it feels so bad for people. But for people who didn't have it, they see that the units are still strong, even right now. They're still strong, but they just never experienced the next level, man. They were pretty
That's like
nuts.
the Gainy pre-nerf. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he doesn't have the trip anymore," but he's still.
He's in every draft.
That was Iris Tableau had the same feeling. I got both of them like within a month, and then the nerf came 2 months later, and I was like, great. I experienced it for like this long.
Yeah.
They're balanced, I guess, as they say. That word balanced. Yep. They're balanced units. Yep, sure.
Speaking of that, what do you guys feel about the Magic Knights? Like the Win one, the Fire. I like the Win one. I think it's a good
I
one.
love Lupus. I think the Win one could be great. I like the kit. The biggest thing is the base speed. It's got a base. It's got a kit that's meant for a fast unit, but a base speed of not good.
Not good.
It's literally like one of the slowest base speeds in the game, like second to the slowest base speed unit in the entire game. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And the thing is that when you sacrifice stats, you usually expect to have some kind of reward in like your other stats or like your skills, but I don't feel they have anything too crazy in their skills to compensate that low base speed, you know? So it's kind of,
It's true.
What about any of the new Street Fighter units? Do you think any of them are going to get any buffs or nerfs?
Yeah, Dark Ryu is so bad. It needs a buff. It needs a buff, right? It needs a buff. I think it needs a buff. The Dark Ryu. Yeah, I agree. That one is garbage. Garbage.
I full-heartedly believe that they introduced the 25 units, or 21 or 25 units? 21 units? 21 units. So they introduced 21 units, and they were all not supposed to be, but they were all introduced underwhelming. There's no way they were going to introduce that many units and been like, bam, like deal with this. And like every one of them are like absolutely insane. And then you have to, figure out the new meta with 21 new amazing units. So I know the DAC one's a little nutty. Yeah, that one.
Oh, that's understatement.
But I think they're all introduced a little bit underwhelming, and I think we're gonna see them in the balance patch.
Yeah, the bisons specifically. I feel like
they literally do what bisons do. Nothing, just graze on the land that they're born on. That's all they do. They don't do anything else, bro. Yeah, I mean, they seem like they're okay tanks and bruisers for Guild Wars, but people tested them and they don't do anything exceptional. I'd like to see them exceptional Siege and Guild Wars units. I'd like to see that kind of feels like that's where their place is going to be in the future.
As much as I hate Dalsum, I'd like to see him get buffed because he sounded good on paper, but then it was like, wait, what? What is going on? Like the fire one he sounded good on with his, like he transfers all the stuff as like he doesn't really do that.
But in like 2 months, he's gonna look so much cuter. So I'm like waiting. I'm like, I wouldn't mind getting one if they buff them, and then they are the little poison masters where they chuck their little potion ball things. Oh, they're so freaking cool looking. Yeah. That design is insanely good looking. I love all of those units so much.
I wish Com2uS would hopefully soon give us some more clarity on what's going to happen exactly with Street Fighter Scrolls, what's going to happen with the logistics of the Street Fighter collab, right? We know it ends, but what happens to Street Fighter Scrolls? Can you still summon them? What happens to the Street Fighter units that you currently have? Can you change their skins? A lot of people are like wondering about that, right? Now, I don't think it would be bad. At this point, I can tell you that most likely Com2uS that's been working with Street Fighter has made the contract, made the agreements, agreed on everything that's going to occur. So they should kind of already know what's happening, right? It's just kind of hopefully conveying the message to us and letting us know would be great.
My hope is that they be like limited edition transmogs so that we could like, it would be like a skin that technically, since those units do the exact same thing, why would you need to summon them twice? So why can't they just be a limited edition transmog you could only get once? Because the difference between people are saying, oh, well, what about Fami? Well, Fami does something different. Fami has a different leader skill. Fami is a totally different unit. So if these are carbon copies of each other, and other than the way they appear, then why shouldn't it just be a transmog?
Right.
That's my opinion.
Exactly. I guess the whole issue has probably revolved around that since the China server and their logistics with the contract there had issues. That's why everything's not as transparent, I guess, because there's issues with China server not having it, right? So I guess we'll find out. Hopefully we can hear more about it and figure it all out, because I kind of like some of the other skins as well. I like both. I like Street Fighter ones because they're limited, right? And they're cool and it's nostalgic, but the other ones actually look pretty dope as well. So
those blade dancers are so good. Oh
yeah,
my
they're
god.
4-star, so we're probably gonna be able to get them pretty easily.
I know.
We can probably find out down the road, or if Gigi wants to chime in. I think all of us are under NDA. You're more than welcome to tell us right now. Let's go.
Yeah, everybody in chat, if you can just type Kappa real quick, that should secure an NDA here with Com2uS officially. And then Gigi can just tell us everything that is going to be happening. Yes?
Well,
yeah,
let me tell you guys what's going to happen.
Confirm right there.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I can tell you that I don't know, but I can guess. I have an opinion about it.
Yeah, what's your speculations? I mean,
my speculation is that they're going to be limited units. I don't think, because in the dev note it didn't sound like they were skins. It sounded like they were just units. So based on the dev note, it seems like we're going to just have to have two of the same monster. But that's what I'm getting based on how the dev notes were written.
One thing we do know is that right now when we summon them, they're awakened because there's no unawakened form, right? But later when you summon them, it will be unawakened and you must awaken them. So that's going to be later on, right? So yeah, that's going to be an issue for people that are Pokemon collectors, right? I call them Pokemon collectors. They just want to, they care about the game, they're competitive, but they like to collect everything. So they want to get
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, you want to collect them all, right?
Same.
They pay the bills. They pay the bills.
Yeah.
Get those packs.
True.
Well, if you check your monster box, the units will come in where all the awakened units are. If you go check the unawakened, there's nothing there yet, right?
Right.
So I think they're going to get introduced as just new units.
Yeah.
Same units, but new units.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking as well. So I guess we'll have to see. I guess if you want to collect them all, you're going to have to summon them all, huh? So, yeah. Okay.
What if they just maybe later down the road ended up changing some of the skills of the Street Fighter units and to kind of differentiate from their counterparts?
The Street Fighter units being better? Oh, that makes me happier about my water Ryu.
I mean, that's actually what most other games do, is that they have a collab, they release units, and then after that, it's not obtainable anymore. So people don't get that.
They took the leader skills away.
Right. Com2uS took a different route.
Yeah, you only get the leader skills.
Right. Com2uS took a different route, and instead, in this route that they took, they decided that, hey, everybody should always be able to get these units. You know what I mean? And that's why they have the different forms after the collab ends, because that's just the way the contracts work with, working with other IPs. So like E7, you can't get some units. You can't summon them. You can't even spend X amount to get it. It's impossible because the collaborations are already done. So it's cool. It's nice. So, but yeah, some people like limited, right? I like limited. I like
limited too.
Yeah.
I like to have things that you can't have. You know what I mean? It's like it's that feeling, right? It brings more value, I guess. So.
What do you guys all have? I got Water Ryu, Water Bison, and Fire. What do you guys all have?
Oh, dang.
I have Fire. I have Fire Ryu, Wind Bison. I have Dalsum and his entire family. So annoying.
Nobody cares about Dalsum.
Yeah, nobody cares about him. I got all of the Chun-Li's except for the light one. So she's the one I'm after right now. And then I have, did I already say Fire Ryu? I probably said.
Did you wail?
She did wail.
Possibly.
I was gonna say I've definitely I think it's about 250, probably more than any other time I've wailed. Probably this time, even more than like holiday summons, like Transcendence packs. Yeah.
Oh wow.
At least 250.
Hey, at least you were rewarded. You were rewarded, which is nice.
That's true. I haven't popped my scrolls yet. I'm saving for my birthday next month. But I did get kind of I got kind of trigger happy, and I did like 21 summons. I got a Fire Ryu, so I've got at least one of them. So that was really lucky. But I have again gotten weak, and I have Fire and Water Chun-Li so far. So, but I still have a huge thing coming out in October. So hopefully I can get some more of the Nat 5s before it ends.
Ah, you're born in the best month of the year. Good to know. Good to know. That's the best month of the year.
Exactly.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, we got the birthdays coming up.
Yep.
Yep.
Very soon.
All right. Oh, what did you get?
What did you get?
Why is it backwards?
Despair
It's a
speed
speed.
with crit rate.
There it is.
Oh, ancient.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
nice.
God dang.
I actually
Okay.
got a better looking rune that I refuse to show because it'll be a spoiler. Because I'm gonna do it on stream later, but it just happens to be a will rune of the 246 range.
Ooh.
All right.
Slot 4
Very
crit
nice.
damage with 6 crit rate.
Huge value.
Damn,
What?
dude.
How did you? What'd you just say?
Slot 4 crit damage with 6 crit rating 8.
Did he
I
psychic?
never
Is he
posted that on
psychic?
social media. He's good. He's good.
No.
Oh,
Wow.
was that close or was that on it? I mean, that's
You nailed it.
Really?
Backdoor.
What? That is literally the best of the best you can get for a slot 4 crit damage. That is the dream. Is crit damage with 6 crit rating 8. That is
But
the
I'm not
dream.
spoiling. I'm not spoiling the subs because the subs are almost premium.
Oh, people will be down to see you do reaps on it if you need to. Damn, I'm excited to see that, dude. God dang.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck. But yeah, so what I did already is I changed the topic number 4 to our last topic, which is kind of open discussion. Already got about 10, 15 minutes left here. We can kind of discuss whatever it is that you guys want to bring up, any topics or things about Summoners War events or whatnot that you guys want to talk about.
Oh, let's drop some SWC love. What was your favorite match so far for the America's Cup? Prelim.
I've had this conversation so many times.
Sorry. Go get some coffee.
Yeah, that's my favorite. He's my favorite, dude. Just because he
Those
used
were-
different stuff. Go ahead, sir.
Those were so cool, and they were in crazy early in the morning for me, so I was like really loopy, tired, and they were just so cool. You just didn't expect it, so it was crazy exciting. Because a lot of everything here has been like Gani Hathor standard stuff. Just seeing Japan server and how insane all of those picks were, and how quick, how much they wanted to cleave. Like it just blew my mind. I'm like, everybody's cleaving in SWC. What? Like, it was so.
I think
It was
my
so
two
cool.
favorite fights were from the Japan and then the Korea. One of them was, I forgot who was going against who, but it was that one fight where the Artemiel and the Okeanos soloed at the end, and when the Spectra killed that Lycan, and we were all like, why did he pick Spectra? He's not gonna win, and he won. Spectra was like, nope, sorry, not today.
That was a big one for me. The one where he picked the Spectra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that unit is a low-key smurf. PvE, PvP.
I really liked Trachmu's play when he had drafted a Leo, and I think it was Zavarius bringing back the Fire Art Master. And I loved that he was paying attention to when the Fire Art Master was going to trap the Leo, and he took advantage of that. And I think it had something to do. He went with a speed. Yeah, he went with a speed lead, and you're like, why would you go speed lead with a Leo? But he was full understanding, knowing that he was going to be trapping that Leo, taking advantage of the speed lead, and ended up allowing him to basically really get a great edge in that match. So I love the 5-head coming out of Trachmu, or the bald head coming out of Trachmu.
Yeah, that was some good matches. I enjoyed it. I mean, Zephyrius, I was semi-rooting for him just for the fact that he's from Hawaii. Yeah, and he seems like a very cool guy. I met him at a couple of my meetups, and he's super cool. And I still remember the moment he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like I'm like top 10 now in RTA at one of those times." And I was like, "What? You went from like G to the top 10?" He's like, "Yeah, I summoned a Gianna." So crazy.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
It's crazy to see like a local player and somebody I've met to just all of a sudden make it to SWC. So I'm sure he had a great experience being able to participate in that. So I'll have to talk to him next time we actually have a meetup and see how.
As much as I love like everyone that's in the America's Cup. Well, I'm talking about America's Cup specifically. I'm so happy to see new faces. Like so many people we didn't think we're gonna go through. Like they're all here. I love the new fresh faces. And I was there when Ken Baller summoned his ragdoll. So I just want to say that.
Oh, who was there? You were there. That's a pog.
It's really motivating to people, I think, to see new faces and just to say, it's nice to have like our old like gods and of SWC and stuff. But man, seeing new faces in there, I feel like revitalizes the community a little bit to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get up there too. Like, I think that's great.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's fun seeing the matches. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, that loser bracket was like literally I just felt like I watched America's Cup through the losers bracket. I was like top players in like the losers bracket. So we'll see how this year's SWC goes, right? We got the America's Cup and whatnot coming up next month. Yeah, I believe
it's
next
2020,
month.
so anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anything's possible from your home.
Yeah.
I guess what, October 24th? Is that it? America's Cup?
Yeah.
October 24th. Yeah, super excited for those. Yeah, super excited for the codes since that's all people care about anyways with these SWCs.
Mhm.
Right? Like,
Well,
everyone watches it, right? Codes are
Since
after.
it's open discussion still, can
Yeah,
we
go
share a funny IRL moment me and
Mhm.
Childish had?
Go
Out
ahead.
in Orlando, Childish was so kind to let me stay in his hotel room. One funny morning, I woke up, just couldn't sleep anymore. I put on Summoner's War.
Oh,
He was sleeping next to me. I'm pretty sure he was asleep. He was not.
Yeah.
He was not asleep.
oh, yeah.
I queue into RTA. There's only one person I can pull right now because no one's playing at that hour. I pull Childish in RTA. With my rank on my line, and like I go from laying down to just full on what?
yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable.
What is the chances
That
of
was-
that, dude? What the heck?
That was disgusting. That was a great moment.
Yep. I drafted Adarag and everything, and he just spanked me. Spanked me.
Did
You
I?
wrecked me. You wrecked me. You-
I don't
I
remember. I'm
this
so used to losing
because
against you, but
That's how bad I lost.
Hard for life now because of that.
Mhm.
Scarred for
That's
life.
crazy.
That's it.
That's
Can't
a
stay in
that
the
was
room
good.
ever again. He's just gonna take all my points.
Can't screw
That was
that,
a good
man.
moment,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Awesome moment though. Awesome moment.
That's so crazy. I'm so sad, dude. This year, no meetups. I mean, I can't stress it enough.
I
No meetups, no
know.
conventions, dude. I am so sad. I'm beyond sad. I like that. That was the highlight of the year, right? You got beginning of
Yeah.
the year, Summoner's War, a little bit stale, right? A lot of games are stale at the beginning of the year, and then slowly mid-year, and then events start popping up and hyping up, and then coming into the end of the year where all the craziness happens. But this year is just all.
We only got to do a few meetups this year, and it was like one of them was where Kimball or someone his ragdoll, but like we were so sad because like as soon as we were starting to open up for like we're gonna announce that Tour of Americas, all of that stuff, it was like nope, sorry, not gonna happen this year. It was just the saddest moment because there were so many great things planned, but it is
Hopefully next year. This was going to be the first year I could make SWC, and I was so freaking jazzed to finally go out because the meetups are smaller, but I don't know. I've always heard about SWC having this kind of atmosphere and energy, and I've just hopefully next year I can go if we can.
definitely on a grander scale with
Yeah.
SWC.
Like the only way that they could do SWC is like I think League of Legends is doing their World Finals, and did you guys hear about how they're doing that? Like they're literally flying in all the people that are being in there, and they have to be quarantined for 2 weeks before their finals. So like people that are like they I think they like rented out or paid for a huge area or whatever, the stadium whatnot, that they're gonna do the event, and all the teams are there, all the teams are practicing and hanging out, and they're all quarantined. Like everybody that's working it has a commitment of quarantining. So I don't think Com2uS would be able to do anything of that magnitude, but that's what League of Legends is doing. That's pretty cool though. At least they're still doing Worlds, but you see how much like effort needs to be put in to do something like that, especially with all the regulations and whatnot. It's pretty nuts.
It's
Yeah.
already
I
a
was kinda
big
hoping for
effort enough
limited
to
space.
plan it, so I can't imagine.
Oh,
how
I
we'd
can't
be able to
imagine
do
planning
2
something like
extra
that.
Quarantine weeks. Holy cow!
I mean, and that's also big boy money too. I mean, I know Com2uS makes a lot of money, but that would be some big boy money there to be able to fly out people and have them commit time for like 2-3 weeks, like off of their working schedule and whatnot. That's crazy, dude. That's so crazy.
Insane.
I was hoping we were going to do like some sort of like limited space, limited tickets, and the only way to get in is if you had a
Heart of
test that
Ragdoll.
you were
With your COVID test result,
Yeah.
clean.
the COVID test result, clearing yourself, saying you were good.
Oh, that could have been something cool, right? You have to like go do COVID like the test.
You get a testing done, and
then
because
just-
tests are only good for like 72 hours or something like that.
Right.
You only need it for the day, so that means you would just have to get a test and then show that you were good
That's
for
actually
it.
not a bad idea. But then you, the person, are the only person at risk, right? Because you invested your time to go,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
you know that you think you don't have COVID, and if you don't have it, then you could be a part of the event. But if you just so happens, I mean, I guess that's the least of your worries. If you got tested positive, right? Is that damn, I can't go to the event. I think you'd be more stressed about having
a
COVID.
liability for the company because like you don't
true.
there are some people who may try to forge test results and then they come in knowing that they're sick, and then that becomes a huge liability for the people hosting the event.
True, very
Sorry, I'm
true.
being a Debbie Downer.
can't-
Wah, wah.
No, it's true though. It's true though.
Jeez.
Ruin our idea.
I think we're just all trying to have every possible idea to have some sort of SWC.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think Com2uS should just do an honor system, right? People just come up and be like, hey, I don't have COVID, and then that's it. That should be good enough.
That's
And
it.
it, yeah, that sounds
Appreciate
legit,
a lot of
right?
money.
Right in.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I don't have it. That's it. And then just take the word for it and do the event. Yeah, we should just do that. I think that's a great idea. Next
Even
year,
like outdoor
Korean
events with
company
social
gets sued to the
distancing,
ground.
Anything.
Oh man.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. All right, any other last minute discussions? I'll leave it open to maybe like one more topic here before we end off. Anything else?
I'm all set.
All set?
Okay.
All right, cool. I guess we've had a really good podcast today. Thank you guys for making the time to join us. If you guys are watching on YouTube, let me know. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, let me know down below, other topics, even fun topics or whatever you have that you guys want to talk about that we will further discuss in future podcasts in the next week, right? Since we have podcasts every single week. But make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that like. We're going to put the links to all of the Twitch channels. Everybody here does stream quite a bit, all different time zones. So make sure you pop in, ask questions. And if you also have suggestions, feel free to let any of them know, because they'll probably be on podcasts again in the future, and they can, bring it up, and we can continue to discuss as a community to grow the game together. But all right, I'll see you guys in the next live stream podcast. Peace out, YouTube.